the things that we'll talk about this for just a minute before we start class. So next week we will start our Passover preparation. We'll have 2 classes of Passover preparation, and then we'll have our Passover break, where we won't have class. So the things I want to cover, candle lighting, of course, and Passover starts on Friday evening, right? Shabbat, Erev Shabbat this year. So we'll do Kaddish for Shabbat. So look in the Haggadah and see if they have it. Otherwise, I can share my screen. We'll do the 4 questions. Well, we'll do all of the brachot for the various foods. So I assume that will be in there, but you can take a look. There are some unusual blessings that you only say at Passover, right? We'll do the Seder order, which I hope would be in there. The 4 questions, the 10 plagues. Okay. We won't do Hallel. And
Mary Ellen wants to know if you're going to teach us the songs, because she loves to sing and read with appreciation. So that's for Mary Ann. I'm just asking for a friend.
Oh, golly. Well, so I wasn't planning on necessarily singing them during class, but I was thinking of sending you links. So I just was, before class started this morning.
Okay.
We don't sing the Seder order at my house. But I have a lovely recording that I found of children singing the Seder order, so I can certainly share that. So there's a lot of things out there. I'll do my best to fill you up with links of others singing. How's that?
Very nice.
Okay. All right. So this week we are returning. Linda, I'm sorry. You're having trouble with the sound? Okay, so hold on. I'm going to message Linda back because she can't hear me apparently. Everyone else seems to be able to. I will figure out what's okay. I think she might sign out and sign back in. Okay. We're going to go back to Ashrei because I promised we were going to get good at it. And the only way to get good at it is to keep practicing. But I'm going to mix it up for you. So everyone open her book to Ashrei. And then go to the last line. We're going to do the Ashrei from back, from the end to the beginning, back to forth, or whatever one would call that, back to front. But we're going to read, not sing. I don't think we can sing it backwards. We'll just read it. I'm not that crazy. Live transcript. Okay. I don't know if that's okay. Live transcript, closed captioning. Okay. I think that might be challenging, Linda, for you in Hebrew, but you have it for the English. Okay, Audrey has left the country. She's a world traveler. We can't hear you. Hold on.
Okay, do you know where you don't know where that is? You're too young, probably, to have seen Rebel Without a Cause. That is the Griffith Observatory.
Yes, I have seen Rebel Without a Cause, actually. Yes, now I get it. Very cool. Okay. So, all right. So everyone, whatever book you have, open it to Ashrei, open it to the end. We're going to do Ashrei. So this is also going to challenge you because I'm going to tell you where we are based on the Hebrew letter, which means going to give you a little lesson in figuring out what letter is what. Okay. Sue, you're at the top of my screen. So you're going to start and you are going to start. So yeah, everyone's going to do 2 lines. So the last, as I call them, 2 stanzas really start where you either have that red arrow or a little box. You see it in your book?
Yes.
Okay. So will you read from,
So we're not going all the way down. All right.
Right, so that's the Tav, the letter Tav,
yeah.
Right?
Tehillah Adonai Yedaber Pi. Shomer Adonai.
Whoa.
She's going the wrong direction.
I'm going in the
Yeah, you need to
direction.
go down. Yeah, you're reading up. read down.
Oh, I thought we were gonna go from the,
Yeah, well,
we go-
but after you read your couplet, then the person after you is going to read the couplet above. So you still read down.
oh, gotcha. Okay.
Your way is really challenging, honestly.
Not only do we
I'm
have
not
to
going to
read
do, I'm not going to
letters,
do that to you.
what direction we're going in. The Varech Kol Basar Shem Kacho La'olam Va'ed.
Okay, and the next line.
Va'anachnu Nevarech Adonai. Is that Adonai?
No, that's Yah.
Really?
Yeah.
Va'anachnu Nevarech Yah Me'ata Ba'ad Olam Hallelujah.
Beautiful, excellent. So just to get everybody straight, so she read Tehillat Adonai Yidaber Pi V'Yivarech Kol Basar Shem Kadsho Leolam Va'ed V'Anachnu Nevarech Yah Me'ata V'Ad Olam Hallelujah. Perfect, beautiful. The person who's going to read next, Connie, is going to start with the line that's Resh, and you're going to read that couplet, that line and the line below it.
And right,
Excuse me, I don't
Yes.
know what page we're on in Sim Shalom. I lost the place.
Okay, depending on which Sim Shalom you're in, you're either on page 423.
No,
Oh, hold on, I apologize. No, I'm sorry, 422. I was already on the right page. 422, the top half of the page is the second half of Ashrei, unless you're in the smaller Sim Shalom book, which you might be. I don't know which book you have.
no, I have the big one.
Okay, so we just read, you see the upper half of the page, there's a box and it's next to the word Tehillat Adonai. You see that?
You're on the second page. Yeah, okay. Tehillat, yes.
Okay,
I
so
see
now,
that.
and we're going to be reading the couplets together. So now Connie just started at 2 lines above that with the Resh, Ritzon.
Okay,
Okay.
great
Yes,
song.
Connie,
See
that's
it,
where-
thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay,
Yeah, I'm unmuted.
you're up. Yeah.
Ratzon Yireh.
Ritzon. There's 2 dots under that Resh.
Ritzon Yireh Av Ya'asher.
That letter has a dot.
Ya'asher.
Yeah, se. The dot is on the left, so it's a sin.
Yeah. Ya'aseh. Va'et Shav Achat
Look again.
Aham
So
Yim
there's shav
Shavatam
tam. Thank you.
Shavatam Yishma Oshiem.
Except in this case, the yud has a sound like a Y. The yoshiem.
The Yoshiem.
There you go.
Shomer Adonai et Kol Ochavar
Vav. Vav. That's not a resh at the end. It's a-
Ochavav
Right, it's a vav.
Ochavav Va'et Kol Har Shayim Yashmid.
Very nice. Okay, I'll just review. Ritzon Yireav Ya'aseh Ve'et Shav Atam Yishma B'Yoshiem Shomer Adonai et Kol Ohavav Ve'et Kol Harshaim Yashmid. Very nice. Okay, Linda, if you unmute, will we hear you? Let's give it a say something and we'll see. Okay, all right, we're going to skip Linda since she's having trouble hearing us. Okay, Barbara, will you read starting with the tzadi?
Tzadik Adonai B'kol Derachav.
Except it's bet and then chaf, not kaf, right?
Okay. B'chol.
There we go.
I just don't have my mouth ready for that this morning.
I hear you.
Bechol derachav,
There you go.
v'hasid bechol ma'asav,
Yes.
karov Adonai lechol chal korav lechol
Yeah.
asher yikra uhu ve'emet.
Very nice. But
That must be the line on the video where he says, "Oh, there's a lot of ha in this."
there's a lot of that going on in this whole prayer, honestly. Okay, so now we're going to go 2 lines above, right? Linda must be going to say, everybody on my screen moved. Okay, it's not a problem. Geraldine, do you want to unmute? And then, so the letter that we're looking at is the ayin. That's the line we're beginning with.
Ene Cole.
Except as I just told Barbara, so there's no dot in the second word. There's no dot in the first letter. So it's call, not call. You hear the difference?
No, say it again.
So
Do it
it's
one more time.
call. So the second word starts with a chaf. If it had a dot in the middle, it would be a kaf. So the difference between the ch and the k,
So you're saying it's ka.
it's ch. It has no dot in the middle, so it's the softer ch as opposed to the harder k sound. So it's
So-
chol.
Ene Cole.
Yes.
Alecha. Yasa Bere.
Beirut.
Oh, Lisa Beru. Ve'ata Natin. La no, hold on. Lahim.
Hem. There's 3 dots under it, so lahem. 3 dots under the hay for hem.
Lahem et et okla? No.
So under the aleph is that little t, so ah, and then there's the silent dots under the chaf, so ach, lam.
Okay. Lam. Be'ito.
Be'ito. Okay, can you do the next line?
Oh, okay. Potato. No. Pata. Oh,
You're
potato.
right.
Potato.
Beautiful.
Yadeka.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Umas. Oh.
1 dot is E. 1 dot under the bet is E.
Umas Bia.
Yes.
The coal.
So that again, there's no dot in the chaf. So the
The
chol.
call. The call. The call. Ha.
Chai. You see, there's a
Hi.
yod. Chai.
Yeah, I see it.
Mhm.
High razon.
Ratzon. Very good. Okay, so let me read this one back. Ene chol elecha yisaberu va'ata noten lahem et achlam be'ito. Poteach et yadecha umaspia lechol chai ratzon. Okay, now we're going to go up to the mem line. Margaret, can you do the mem line?
I'll try. Malchut techa,
Mhm.
malchut, kol olamim,
Mhm.
u mem shal techa,
Absolutely.
b'chol dor vador. So mech Adonai le chol ha no hanof lim v'zo kef le chol ha kafu theme.
Exactly. Very nice. I'm just going to read it back. Malchutecha, malchut, kol olamim, umem shaltecha, bechol dor vador. So mech Adonai lechol hanoflim, v'zokef lechol hakfufim. Okay, now we're at the line above that, which starts with a kaf. Mary Ellen, that's you.
Kavod malkuteka.
Look at that second word again.
Malkuteka.
Exactly.
Kavod malkuteka. Omeru.
Except it starts with a yud. It's the third.
Yomeru.
There you go.
Yomeru.
Mhm.
Ug vorateka. Ug vorateka.
No, so you're doing it so well until you get to the end and you're adding things. So ug,
Ug
vu,
vura.
ra. So under the resh is a little t, right? So ra.
Ratek.
So it's just like the word malchutecha at the end. Ug, vu, ra.
Oh, all right. Say it for me and then hopefully I can do it.
Ug, vu, ra, techa. Techa at the end.
Tika. Okay.
That's it.
Ugvo ra tika.
Except the vav, the vet, the vav has a dot in the middle. So ugvu,
Ugu
right?
ro
Ra.
ra. Oh. Okay. Kavod mal vu tika. Yo meru ugvu ra tika.
Yes.
Ya yida beru.
Yes.
Lahudia
L.
lehodia
Mm-hmm.
lifnei ha'adam
Mm-hmm.
gevurotav
Mm-hmm.
uv ho. Oh, that's a vowel. Uv hod uk. No, it's uk
Yes.
hod. Yes.
Uchvod.
Uk
Uchvod.
hod hadar malkuto.
Exactly. And I give you all the credit in the world for starting over and getting it right. You did. So I'll just review it back. Kevod malchutecha yomeru ugvu ratecha yedaberu lehodia lifnei ha'adam gevurotav uchvod hadar malchuto. All right, we're turning to the page before.
That sounded so much better.
You learned a lot struggling through, and that's the whole point. All right, so we're going to do the 2 lines right on the bottom of this upper paragraph, and the first line starts with a tet. Edith was to be next, but she stepped away. Audrey, Edith, you're there. Can you unmute and will you read for us?
Sorry, something popped up in front. I tell you, something popped
okay.
up in front of my little symbol. Are we
So you're
going
on,
back to the beginning?
you're on the beginning half of the prayer, the last two lines, I'm thinking no matter what book you're in. So it starts with a tet, the word tov.
The last two lines. Tehillah?
No, not the last two lines of the whole prayer. So which book are you in?
I'm in,
Red one?
yes, Lev Shalom.
Lev
Lev
Shalem. Okay.
Shalom.
So page 181.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 181, okay.
Yeah, the bottom two lines.
Okay.
Start with the tet
Tov.
and do the line, that line and the line below it.
So it'd be Tov Adonai.
Mhm.
Look, let's the call. Okay. Virakaman.
Marachama.
Virakman.
So let's break it down. The ra and then the chet has a straight line under it, right? With and a shvab.
Okay.
Racha.
Viraka.
And then the mem has the yud and ends with a vav. That last letter is a vav, not a nun. So
Virakamab.
exactly, that's it right there. You said it.
Thank you. Thank you. All. Okay, call.
Mhm.
Maya Shab.
Okay, so let's slow
Maya
down.
Shab.
Yes, but the second
That
letter,
moved.
the second letter is an ayin, and the ayin is completely silent. It's just a placeholder for the vowel below.
Oh.
So ma'asav.
Ma'asab. Okay. Whew. Yoduka.
Exactly.
Adonai. Call. Ma'aseka.
Exactly.
But hold on, that's that. See Deca. See Deca.
You're making it harder than it. V'chasidecha. Yeah.
See Deca.
Mhm.
Yavar.
Mhm.
Kuka.
Yivarchucha. Exactly. Yivarchucha. All right, I'm going to review this. Tov Adonai lakol v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha v'chasidecha yivarchucha. Okay, I noticed a couple of things in the chat. Audrey, you want me to skip you? That's fine.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so you're gonna be next. Give me 1
Okay.
second. Okay, give me 1 second. And then there was a question about Passover class or classes around Passover. So we will be off for 2 weeks. The 15th and whatever the week after that is.
22nd.
22nd, thank you. Yes, I believe we'll be off both of those weeks. That's what my calendar tells me. Okay, but I'll send that out in an email to everyone. Okay, so Audrey, that means you are at the line that starts with Zion.
Okay, and can I ask a question first, please?
Yes, you may.
And we've probably gone through this, but in the last two, the lines that was it Edith who was just reading? Whoever was just reading, what are all those little yuds just acting as vowels? What are they doing in there?
Okay, so I will explain. So I'll go over the last two lines I just read, the one that starts with tet. So tov Adonai la kol, right? That is
Right.
a kaf, not a chaf, la kol. Varachamav. So that word varachamav, the yud is silent because it's making it plural, but it adds no sound at all.
Oh, you did say that. How about the next, how about
This
the
next-
last line?
so
I mean, the last
I'll-
word in that line. Yeah.
I'll call ma'asav. Same thing.
Okay. So it'll all make sense eventually.
Well, but so then we'll do the next line. Yoducha Adonai call ma'asecha. So in that case, again, the yud is silent. It's not ma'asecha. I believe
Uh-huh.
it's ma'asecha.
Uh-huh.
Okay, v'chasidecha. So there's lots of yuds. The next word, v'chasidecha, yivarchucha. Yes, those yuds aren't adding real sound, as opposed to the very last word, yivarchucha. That yud, of course, coming at the beginning, gives us that sound.
Okay, but the next to the last word with that yud and then the dotlet and then the yud, that
Yeah.
first yud doesn't make it plural because you
It
have
does
the
not,
second-
and I
Okay.
think this is just how it's spelled, but because I
Okay.
believe, yes, if that yud was not there, I would pronounce this word the same.
Okay, all right. So enough delaying. Okay. Zecher,
There's no
Wait.
dot in that. Zecher.
Zecher.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was about to go back. Rav, to ha, yabiu,
Mm-hmm.
Betsiv ka, techa,
Mm-hmm.
Yaranubu, Nevu.
Nenu. Both of those are nuns.
Yaranenu.
Even though one has a dot, they're still both nuns. Yiranenu.
Thank you. Okay. I'm not starting over. Hanun.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say high noon. The Ray.
Ra. Ra.
The Ra. Yeah, got it. The Ra, whom, Adonai, Erech, Faim, Ugdal, Chased.
Yes, exactly. Okay. I'll read it back. Zecher Rav Tuvcha Yabiu Betzid Katcha Yiranenu Chanun Berachum Adonai Erech Apayim Ugdal Chased. Okay, we're going up to the hay line. And Sue, we're back to you at the beginning. I can't hear you. I think you're muted. I'm sorry. You're muted.
All right, sorry.
There we go.
Okay, Hadar, that's where I am, right?
That's
Hadar, Kavod, Hodecha, B'divrei, Niflo, Techa, Asaha,
Under the sin is one dot.
oh.
And then it has that other line.
Yeah, I see it now. Asiha,
Beautiful.
Azur,
Those are two Zions actually in that word.
Azuz, they did look the same. Azuz, Nor Otecha.
So in this case, the beginning syllable is no, and then the resh actually starts the second syllable, no rotecha. Nor otecha.
How do you know that?
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I think you pronounced it. I always pronounced it no rotecha, but the way I'm looking at it, it should be nor otecha. But so from what we've learned, because that Shva under it would tell us it's the end of the syllable, but I always pronounced it no rotecha. All right.
Because the
sorry for
dot is
that.
over,
What?
the dot's on top for no.
It is, but then what do you do with that resh?
Is it a R or is
So-
it a nor?
Right,
Oh,
so,
I thought the no was a syllable, no, and then the
That-
resh went with the O, the aleph.
that's how I do it. That's I think that's
That's
correct.
what I thought, but I don't
I'm
know.
trying to remember the lesson about all the various crazy rules about shva, and maybe the problem here is that the shva. So the shva tells us the resh is silent, but then we have the aleph with the vowel. It is no rotecha. I'm positive. It's no
Yeah.
rotecha.
Now that you say, yeah, it goes with both, nor, ro. Yes,
No, it goes with the second. It's no rotecha.
but we're rolling it, so nor, no.
Well, maybe it's just I go fast, but it's no rotecha.
Well,
It's
why
no
does,
rotecha.
but in that case, why does it need the shva at all?
That's my question, and I'm not sure of the answer.
I'll have to listen to the tune that he's playing.
I know.
No, I know the
Or the
pronunciation is no rotecha. I'm positive.
That's
think
the
it's-
transliteration is.
I think it's the aleph. It's the aleph that makes it a little funky. So, because you could write this word phonetically, nun vav with a dot on the top, resh vav with a dot on the top, no row. You don't. Why is that aleph thrown in? And the reason the resh I think has the shva is because the aleph is thrown in. But I don't, so anyway, we're not going to worry about it. It's no rotecha.
No rotecha, no rotecha.
No,
Did I finish? Yomeru, ugdu, letecha, asap, wait a minute, asaprena.
Exactly, asaprena. Okay, I will read it back to you since we had a long pause in the middle to cogitate on that spelling. Hadar kavod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha, ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru, ugdulatcha asaprena. So, and I will tell you all, I'm trying to make myself feel not so stupid, that when I learned this prayer, we had not been taught anything about the shva, the way I, told you about the 4 or 5 different odd anomalies of the shva back in our beginner class. So they didn't teach us that way. They didn't teach us all of that ins and outs so much as they said, pronounce it this way. So I'm sorry for that. Okay, we're on Daled. And Barbara, I'd like you to read, please.
First, I got to check if there's any of those in there. Gadol Adonai.
Wait. We're on Daled. So a
Oh,
line below.
I thought she
Oh,
started.
no,
with
you're right.
Gadol.
It's Gadol. I'm holding my paper at the wrong spot. You're right. It doesn't start with Daled. The couplet starts with Gimel. I apologize.
No problem. Gadol Adonai Umhulal Ma'od Veligdulato Ein Cheker
Beautiful.
Dor Lador Vishabach Ma'asecha
Mm-hmm.
Ugvurotecha
Mm-hmm.
Yagidu.
That was lovely. Thank you. Okay, now we're at Aleph. Connie, will you unmute and read for us?
Aromimcha, alo, chai.
Elo.
Right. Aromemcha, Elohai, Hamelech.
Okay, so let's so Aramimcha Elohai. It ends with a hey, Elohai Hamelech.
I didn't say that. Elohai,
Did say-
Hamelech. Avarcha,
Mhm.
the Avarcha,
Yes.
Simcha, Leolam Va'ed. Bekol Yom of Avar hecha va'achala shimcha leolam va'ed.
Lovely. I think I was hearing background noise, so I apologize for making you repeat.
Nope,
Um,
that's okay. We've got machines going on here.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm hearing. Okay, and you sound a little hoarse. Are you a little hoarse?
Yeah, I have a
on top of
bag,
that?
I have a cold and some
Yeah.
laryngitis. yeah.
Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna repeat it, but you did beautifully. I'm just gonna review it because I interrupted you. Aromimcha Elohai Hamelech Va'avarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed Bechol Yom Avarchecha Ve'ahalela. See that? Ve'ahalela Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed. Okay. Now we're at the very beginning, the first two lines. Geraldine, will you unmute and read?
I will try my best.
You will do your best. I know it.
Okay. Ashrei Yoshbe Vateka Od Yahaleka
Ooh, you added things.
Luka
Hallelujah, yes.
Ka Selah Ashrei Ha'am Sheheka Lo.
So this one, there's a kaf, then a chaf. So shekacha.
Oh, that's right. Shekaha Lo Ashrei Shu Adonai Elohim.
Beautiful. You did lovely. I'm going to read it back, but you did so well. Ashrei Yoshvei Vetecha Od Yahalelucha Selah. Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo. Ashrei Ha'am She'adonai Elohav. And we left out one line, which I will just read, which is that little partial line, Tehillah le David. It's the only line I didn't have you guys read. Okay, so we spent, over half an hour just slowly, carefully going through this. And you still, I think, it has not become one with you. You guys are not comfortable yet with this prayer. So, do you want to hear it chanted? Right, I'll give you a break from reading and you'll follow. Barbara, yes.
I'd like to know the call and response that we do. And I tried
Okay.
to listen last week and the person skipped it. They did like the first two lines and the last two lines.
Okay, so that's what we'll do. So
Oh.
how about, so I'll chant and then you guys, how are we going to do this? I'm going to call on someone to do the response. Okay, but I'll chant the ones that are the reader, and then we'll slowly do the ones that are the congregation. Okay, so here we go. Starting at the top, not the bottom. Ashrei Yoshvei Vetecha Od Yahalelucha Selah. Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo. Ashrei Ha'am She'adonai Elohav. Okay, now, Barbara, will you read the next couplet, starting with Tehillah, and this would be the congregation.
Oh, Tehillah le David,
Yes.
Aromimcha Elohai Hamelech, Ba'avarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed. And go on?
Yeah, because
Oh,
the
I didn't know if
congregation
they
would do
read
one
two
more
or not.
line. No, they would do one more line, yes.
Okay. But Kol Hayom Avahecha Ve'ahala Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed
Okay, very nice. Not perfect, but pretty darn close. I'm not going to repeat it. I'm going to do the next couplet. Gadol Adonai umhulal me'od veligdulato en cheker dor ledor yeshabach ma'asecha ugvurotecha yagidu. All right, do I have a volunteer to do the next couplet?
Oh, I'll try it.
All right,
Yeah.
Connie.
I'll
Connie,
try.
give it a go.
Don't listen, don't criticize my voice, it's
I
terrible.
will not.
Hador, is that where we are?
Ha-
Yeah.
Yes, that's where we are.
Hador kavod no.
Yes.
Hadar kavod hodecha
Mhm.
v'divrei niflotech. Oh, I lost the tune.
Okay.
Flotecha
Yep.
asika. Asika.
Asicha. Okay, good.
Ve'ezuz norotecha
Mhm.
yomeru
Yep.
ugdulatecha asarfena.
Ugdulatecha.
Ugdulatecha
You added a vowel that's not there. Ugdulatecha.
ugdulatecha
There's it. Ugdulatecha. Mhm.
ugdulatecha, is that right?
That's it. Yes, that's it.
Ugdulatecha asaprena.
Perfect. Okay, I will sing the next couplet. Zecher rav tuvcha yabiu betzidkatecha yiranenu chanun v'rachum Adonai erech apayim ugdal chased. Mary Ellen, you still willing to try? Okay.
I'm willing, no singer though. Tov Adonai lakol v'rakamav al kol ma'asav.
Perfect.
Good.
Yoduk Adonai
So
kol ma'asav.
yoducha. You left off the last. Okay, yoducha.
I'm thinking of John Wayne, just Duke. Yaduka Adonai kol ma'aseka v'kasideka v'kasideka yavuraku yavaraku ha.
Yes, Yevarchucha. Yes. Good. Yevarchucha. Okay, you turn on the page. Kevod malchutecha yomeru ugvuratecha yedaberu lehodia lifnei ha'adam gevurotav uchvod hadar malchuto. Any volunteers? If you don't want to, I'm going to skip you. So Barbara, can I come back to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Malchut ha malchut kal alami olamim umem shaltecha b'kol dor vador. Somich Adonai l'kol hanoflim v'zokef l'chal hakfufim.
That's lovely. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so Sue, will you try it or no? It's up to
I'll
you.
try it.
Okay.
Ene kol elo, ene kol elecha,
Elecha
elecha yishaberu,
There you go.
v'yata noten lechem et achlam be'ito.
Okay.
Oh lordy, poteach et yadecha umashbiach l'chol hi ratzon.
High red zone. So let me
Hi ratzon.
very close. Potea. So Einechol Elecha Yisaberu Ve'atano Ten Lahem Et Achlam Be'ito Poteach Et Yadecha Umaspia Lechol Chayratzon. Okay, now I'll do the leader. Tzadik Adonai Bechol Derachav Bechasid Bechol Ma'asav. Karov Adonai l'chol karav, l'chol asher yikra'uhu ve'emet. Connie, you want to try? If you don't, it's okay.
Bye. Ratzon Yera'av, Yera'av, Ya'aseh.
Hmm.
Is that right? 2
Yes.
minutes? Ve'et, Savatam,
That's a shin.
Savatam, Yesh, Yishmavo, oh my goodness.
Yishma biyoshi.
Yoshmitchiem.
That's it. Okay.
Shomer Adonai et kol o havav
Perfect.
va'et kol
Ve'et. So that one goes together. Ve'et kol harshaim
havaim vashmid.
yashmi. Good. Yes, exactly. Okay. I'll do the next. Tehilat Adonai Yedaber Pi V'yivarech Kol Basar Shem Kadsho Le'olam Ba'ed. And usually everyone does the last one together. Va'ana
Yeah.
Me'ata Me'ad Olam.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
So now you have an appreciation for when a youngster gets up there and they get about 2/3 of the way through and they start sweating and they start tripping over their words because they always practice from the beginning and they kind of get tired and they kind of lose focus, which is why I made us start from the back end. I kind of learned this with my kids when they were studying for this or for a bat mitzvah, bar mitzvah, whatever, that when you always start at the beginning, you kind of start falling apart in the same place. So start somewhere else, pick it up somewhere else and mix it up. So at any rate, that's my little trick for you.
I just I'm confused about how do you say hallelujah or
The very last word?
yeah. With
Okay,
the yud in there.
So the yud has a vowel. So the yud gets its own. So it starts out ha, right? There's the hey with a straight line, ha. The first lamed has a shva for l, just a short l. Then the second lamed has its own vowel, the vav with a dot in the middle. So lu, ha, l, lu. And then the yud has its own vowel, ya. So hallelujah.
Okay.
You see it? Tell me
yes.
if you're still confused.
Yes, I do. I was just getting so confused with that. Okay.
Well, it's a matter of where the syllables break out, right? So the first syllable is just the hey, ha. The second syllable is just the lamed with the shva, ha, l. The third syllable is the lamed with the u vowel, ha, l, lu. And the last syllable is the yud and the hey, but the yud has a vowel, so ya. Ha,
yeah, that helps to break it down.
Ya.
Okay, thank you very much. I get it now.
You're
All
so
right.
welcome. Okay. I mean, personally, I would say we should go again, but I know you guys are exhausted with this prayer, so maybe we won't go again. So what does that mean? Where are we? So someone in this is a good place to bring this up. I asked at the very beginning of class if there were certain prayers people wanted to do. And Mary Ellen mentioned Hatikva. I don't remember if too many other people mentioned anything. But I just recently got a request for the prayer for Israel. And I will tell you that there's a reason I didn't include the prayer for Israel in our curriculum. And of course, now I can't find it in this book.
Right before
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
it is a tongue twister, honestly. It is a challenging prayer.
It is, let's see, 178 and the red Lev Shalom.
Okay, I was
In,
going the wrong way.
Avinu
Sim
Shah.
Shalom, it's 416.
Thank you. Okay, so 178 or 416. Oh, yes, that makes perfect sense. It's right before Ashrei.
Mhm.
So this prayer is challenging.
Mhm.
Interestingly, this is one where I should practice this from the halfway point down. I can do pretty well the first half of the prayer, but then toward the second half of the prayer, especially as Rabbi Kurtz used to do it, because I always hear him in my head when I hear this. Mary Ellen will appreciate this. He's now Rabbi Emeritus for us. I start messing up and I start not being able to keep up. So I was not going to include this prayer, honestly, unless we get to the end and everyone is doing great with everything else, and then I will include this prayer. But this prayer is challenging. And I spoke with, I think I talked with Julia Loeb about this too, way back, at the beginning of, what should be in the curriculum and what shouldn't. And she said, yeah, this prayer is too challenging. I would not put this in your class. So.
Ooh, that's a challenge then for us. Maybe towards the end. It's a
Toward
challenge.
the end, right? Edith, yeah.
In our synagogue, they skip the middle. They do the first,
Couple
there are
lines.
certain people that lead it, and
Yeah.
they usually skip the middle. And the rabbi that retired, he's the only one that will do the full thing.
Okay, I feel vindicated. It's a challenging prayer. I can't explain why. It just is. And I never look at the transliteration. I see they have it in the Lev Shalem book. But yeah.
In some of them, the copy that I have does not have the newer ones have the transliteration.
Yeah. Well,
The
and
copy that I
you
have
all know
doesn't
my
have
feeling on transliteration. It may as well be in Cyrillic typeface. I don't know what it says. I can't make it out.
No, but it is good. It is good as a tiebreaker sometimes when you're really not sure. Really, like with the Shva, that's when you can look and find out.
Yeah, okay, if you understand what they're trying to tell you, yes, I guess so. But at any rate, okay. We will do Yigdal because Mary Ellen asked, and I think it's perfectly appropriate, and it's
Yigdal?
actually
No.
Yigdal. Yeah, we're not gonna do it right now, but I'm just saying.
Hatikva. I asked for
Oh, you asked for
Hatikva.
Hatikva, right? I wrote
I
Yigdal
asked for
down.
Yigdal.
You're
but
right.
that's-
Someone asked for Yigdal,
I
and I
did,
thought
but-
Yigdal should have been in the beginner class, honestly, because it's part of the Friday night service. So yes, we will do both of those. Just saying.
Where is it?
Okay, so next week, if you have a Haggadah, please bring it. I'm happy to say I completed my family Haggadah. Can't really see it, but it's
Very cool.
so, and my husband pointed out that he could print some in slightly larger type, so he did. He printed this one in larger type for his mother, for instance, and then the rest we printed in my, 12 font or whatever. I took the time to not only include the transliteration, but of course I typed the Hebrew in. So I felt very proud of myself for doing
You
that.
should.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. It's a lot of work.
It was a
That's
lot of
my
work.
koach.
It was a lot of work. It is not so easy typing in Hebrew when you're not fluent in, typing in another language. Anyway, all right, ladies. Today we're going to finish just a little early, only because I think you're all exhausted. I can tell. I mean, I worked you hard, and Ashrei is one of those challenges. See, Marjorie's writing to us. I want to see what she says since she can't say it out loud. We've used a family Haggadah since before I was born. It was written before Israel was a state. Wow. Well, Marjorie, so we've been using the same family Haggadah, my sisters and I, since I was a very small child. And my children don't particularly care for it. And actually, my sister and my husband and I, it's too archaic. There are things we don't like about it. There are things we do, but there are things we don't. I wrote a new Haggadah that is what I would like to think the best of the old one and a bunch of new stuff, like the Kos Miriam, because Kos Miriam didn't exist in the old one. And also about the midwives and more of the story and more of the women. Bye-bye, Geraldine. So I have a lot more about the women in this Haggadah than the Haggadah I ever, the one I grew up with. And yes, we used to add some inserts into our old one. We would have little pamphlets and things that we would stick in, and the Kos Miriam and other things I would print and try to add in. But so now I feel like we have a definitive one that my sister and I are very happy with. So we'll see if it gets thumbs up at the actual Seder. I don't have any jokes.
I wanted to show off our family Haggadah.
Well, how
which
lovely.
I wrote when the kids were little and could barely read.
Mhm.
And so that means they were 4 and 5 years old. And now they don't want to give it up. Maybe because it's short, but also it has extra pages added to it. But it was written so that they could sit there and color when they got bored.
Oh,
Because
wow.
Oh, that's
I thought-
cute.
And this happens to be people who come regularly. This is Uncle Mark's copy. The adults didn't choose to color. So unless the kids got to theirs, it never got
But it's
colored.
interesting how he wrote his name on his. He staked
No,
it out.
I wrote it on. The copy belongs
Oh,
to Uncle Mark. I guess
okay.
I did them first.
Barbara, you could publish that. There are families that are looking for something like that.
I'm sure that it is still on the computer somewhere. Some of the stuff already has Hebrew in it, but it's basically in English. So
Yeah.
it was hard enough for the kids to read English.
Well, and
But
that's
now,
where
I mean, their Hebrew is much better than mine. So
Sure.
we've tried to
Well,
graduate.
Your kids now.
I refuse to take out the Hebrew. My sister and I, it would feel like we are changing denominations if I take out the Hebrew.
Mhm.
I can't do it, so,
Yeah.
and I wrote the Hebrew without vowels because I can read it without vowels, and that's just the way it's going to be.
And everybody else can learn.
They're gonna, yes, exactly. So, all right, ladies, this was a great class.
Audrey, my kids are 28 and 29, so they still want to use this one though.
And there are
That's
families
wonderful.
that are looking for something like that. Somebody just approached me recently that they need something for the kids. I'm telling you, you're sitting on a little gold mine
Gold
there.
mine. Maybe when I retire, I'll do that.
I think it's still in print, but there's a Haggadah called Tell It to Our Children.
Yes.
There's a leader's
children.
edition to it.
Mhm.
There's a lot of English and puppets that go with it that you can cut out and color and hold up when you come to the different characters in the story. And it's sort of hip language, and all the songs are sung to She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain in familiar kids' tunes.
I think I came across some of those when I was just writing mine, and I actually couldn't handle those tunes because they tell you what tune to sing it to. So I
Right,
think I have some,
right.
and I was like, oh gosh, no, I can't do that. I can't.
Yeah, we
So-
did a separate songbook that's got them done to those tunes.
Oh,
For
nice.
our family, yeah.
Very
Oh,
cool.
wow.
There's something about Pesach that lends itself to all of this. I will also show you if I
Right.
remember either next week or the week after. So what I started doing many decades ago, my mother was very involved with Women's League, and she was very involved with the Creative Judaic Arts Committee of Women's League. And so they had a project. I could tell you the exact year once I take it out, but I don't remember off the top of my head. It's at least 30 years ago, I want to say, where they took they took a composition memo book kind of like this, and they made a cover for it, and they adorned the cover. She found these little pins. There's a fly, a frog, and I don't remember what. And inside you write memories of your Seder. So we have for 30 odd years, someone in my family has made an entry in the book of something about the Seder. What was important to us, what was unusual, whatever, who was there, what was served. So I have a running log of 30 odd years of exactly what meal, what was in the meal, who read the 4 questions, who found the afikomen, what was cheerful, what was horrible, like when my parents passed away and that they weren't there for the, first time or whatever. But to me, that it is very important in my life. And I have made them and given them to other people to make a memory.
I think that's
Great idea.
That is. I keep a record of what I served and who was here, but it would be nice to have the others. So,
Well,
additional.
I'll
Start
show it to
now.
you. It's very easy to make, I think my mom covered it with a piece of fabric, but I think when I did them, I covered them with really heavy duty wrapping paper when I gave them to friends. And I printed a label, now that we all have computers where we can print all kinds of beautiful labels, I did that. So I'll share it with you. I'll pull it out of one of my many. It's stored with the Haggadot in a box in the basement. So, all right, ladies, until next week, take
Thank you.
care.
Shalom.